Today, I'm going to be smoking a whole turkey out on the Oklahoma Joe's Highland. All right, so what I have here is a little over a 14-pound turkey. Now, what I did last night was I gave it sort of a dry brine. I used a tablespoon of salt, a tablespoon of pepper, and then I also used one of my favorite rubs. It's a Flaps 20 cowboy rub. Coated this, and it's been in the refrigerator overnight. Now, before I get it out onto the Oklahoma Joe's Highland, I'm going to inject it. Now, the injection I'm using is really simple. It's 2 sticks of butter, 3 tablespoons of maple syrup, and 2 teaspoons of Frank's Red Hot sauce. I just melted those all down in a saucepan. So now let's get it into this bird. I'm just going to start going in different places in the breast here. If some runs out, that's fine. And get a little bit down in the thighs here. I'm happy with that. I just wanted to give it a little bit of extra moisture in there and some of that flavor with the butter, maple syrup, and Frank's Red Hot mix. All right, let's get this out to the Oklahoma Joe's Highland and get it smoking. All right, I've got the Oklahoma Joe's Highland going with some hickory wood. And what I need to do now is I want to get some water into the water pans inside. Get water into this pan near the firebox. I don't like to add the water usually until just before I put the food on, otherwise it just starts boiling away. I'm going to add water to my second pan on the opposite side of the cooking chamber. I'm going to go ahead and get my turkey on now, and I've got it in this rack. It'll make it easier to maneuver when I want to turn it around. And I'm placing it just so the drumsticks are about middle way in the cook chamber. And I'm placing it with the drumstick end towards the firebox. I want the thighs towards the hottest part of the chamber. I'm going to get my meat probe in now. I'm going to put it in the thickest part of the breast here. Let's see how we do. That's looking pretty good. It's showing 42 degrees. It's been out of the refrigerator for about 15 minutes, so just above 40. Let's get this closed up and check the wood. Let's see how our wood's doing. Smoking with a mix of hickory and pecan today. That's 2 pieces of hickory in there. I'm going to add a stick of pecan now. Just kind of mix up the flavors a little bit. We're also going to want to generate a little additional heat because we just put a big cold hunk of meat in the cooking chamber. I've had the fire burning for about 45 minutes just to get the cooking chamber up to temp. One of those sticks of hickory is pretty much burnt down. The other one's about 50%. So getting that pecan in there is going to help it keep us where we want to be. All right, we're burning. Let's close it up. Got good smoke coming out of there. Not too thick. And sometimes your smoke is going to thicken up and it's going to, then turn more of that thin blue smoke we all hear about. You just work through it. Work your vents. Make sure you got good wood in there. And this is looking pretty good. So I'm going to be smoking this turkey today, trying to keep the temperature between 250 and 300. It should stay in there. I should be able to regulate that. As I said, I'm going to be cooking with a mixture of pecan and hickory, probably mostly hickory as we go along through the day. And I'm going to be taking this bird to 165 degrees internal temperature. Somewhere around 130, 140 range, I'm going to actually put a little glaze on the outside. I'll bring you back later when it's time to check this turkey. All right, our pit temp has dropped down to about 235. So it's time to add some more wood. We've been going just about 50 minutes right now. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get this closed up. Keep smoking. All right, it's been about an hour and 15 minutes, and I want to take a look and give a spritz on this bird. We want to keep the skin moist while it sort of dries out a little bit, if that makes any sense. We don't want it to dry completely out. Oh, look at that great smoked color we're getting. All right, I'm going to spray this side, then I'm going to have to turn it to spray the other side, but I want to keep the thighs towards the firebox. Now the spritz I'm using is 5 parts water, 2 parts Jack Daniels, and 1 part apple cider vinegar. I'm going to turn this a little bit so I can get that other side. let's get this closed up and let it keep smoking. See, so after 1 hour and 15 minutes, our internal temperature of the bird is about 81 degrees, looking good. Smells really good out here with this hickory, let me tell you. All right, I'm gonna let this keep going. I'm gonna bring you back in a bit. All right, we are 3 hours and 15 minutes into this cook. We're just about at 140 degrees. Pit temp has dropped to about 223, so it's perfect timing. We're gonna glaze this turkey and add wood. Oh, looking really good. Really nice color. Now I need to reposition this to get the glaze on. So actually what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move my ambient temperature probe temporarily out of the way. I'm gonna slide this way. Now this glaze is 4 tablespoons of barbecue sauce, 4 tablespoons of maple syrup, and about a tablespoon of a garlic vinaigrette. You can use any sort of like salady dressing sort of thing that you want. This is a very garlicky vinaigrette. So we've got sweet with a little bit of tang and then that barbecue sauce in here. I'll make sure I get a good coating over all the skin that I can get to. This bird already has an amazing color and this glaze is just gonna enhance that. And add a nice little bit of flavor too. So I need to rotate this a bit so I can get to the other side. Let's turn this back and get our probes back in place. Get our ambient probe right about there. All right, we're gonna get this closed up and get some more wood in the firebox. I'm gonna put a piece of pecan in here right now. All right, we got some good flame. Let's get our firebox closed up and let this bird finish up to 165. All right, our internal meat temperature is 162. The pit temp's a little high, 308. It just spiked up a little bit. But I'm gonna go ahead and check this because I think it's time to pull this. It's gonna have some carryover heat that's gonna take it all the way to 165 once we get it inside and let it rest. And it's been just about 5 hours even right now. So let's see how we're doing. Oh, that is beautiful. That is gorgeous. Super rich color on this. I don't want to check the thighs down here. Thighs are registering in the 180s, so they're done. And I just want to check the breast right down here. Yeah, that breast is registering 160.5, so that's right in the range there. The carryover is going to finish this. So I'm going to get this bird off, get it inside. It's going to rest for about 15 minutes, and then we're going to taste some. Here is our whole smoked turkey, fresh off the Oklahoma Joe's Highland. Came off about 20 minutes ago. It's been resting. The color on it, as you can see, is dark. That glaze and the smoke just work together to give it this really rich, dark mahogany color. And this skin, let me tell you, I am dying to bite into this. So let's go ahead and slice in and see what we have. I'm gonna go right into the breast right here. This is where I like to usually make a first cut just for these kind of tasting things. Get a little slice out. So let's see here. It's a little hot still. Oh, nice. I don't know if you can see that juice in there. Really, oh, that's hot. I'm gonna go ahead and cut some more slices up because it's time to taste. So here we go. Whole smoked turkey on the Oklahoma Joe's Highland. Took just about 5 hours. Ran between 250 and 300 the whole time. Closer to 300 most of the time, except when it dropped down and I added wood. Glazed it at about 140 degrees internal, and that's really helping with this color we have on this. Let's see how that injection and all that smoke did. Wow, this turkey may have the most and best smoke flavor that I've ever achieved on a turkey. One of the things that helps with that smoke flavor and the penetration is I don't put anything in the cavity when I'm smoking it. No, fruit or herbs or anything like that. I leave it open. I want that smoke to go in there too. I gotta tell you, there's smoke flavor in all this. Now, one of the things that can happen when you're smoking a bird this long is it can dry out. The breast meat can dry out. The injection really helps with that. Keeping moisture in the chamber really helps with that. I mean, I remember my parents would cook a turkey overnight before Thanksgiving. It would be going at like 200, 250 degrees. They'd be basting it every hour to keep it moist. So when you're cooking in this 250 to 300 degree range and it's gonna take a little longer, you really do have to be mindful of the moisture. And that injection really helps. Now, if you don't want to go that long, you can definitely crank the temperature up, do it closer to 325, even 350 if you can get your smoker up to that. That's not difficult on a pellet smoker. On an offset, sometimes getting up in those 350 and above ranges can be a little difficult, especially on smaller smokers like the Oklahoma Joe's Highland. But if you just give it that time, give it moisture, have good seasoning on it, that overnight dry brine really helped, you're gonna get something like this.